The Army Warrant Officer is a technical expert, combat leader, trainer, and advisor. Through progressive levels of expertise in assignments, training, and education, the Warrant Officer administers, manages, maintains, operates, and integrates Army systems and equipment across unified land operations. Warrant Officers are innovative integrators of emerging technologies, dynamic teachers, confident warfighters, and developers of specialized teams of soldiers. They support a wide range of Army missions throughout their career. Warrant Officers in the Army are assessed with specific levels of technical ability. They refine their technical expertise and develop their leadership and management skills through tiered progressive assignment and education. Warrant Officer candidates are assessed according to the needs of the Army and their possession of specific levels of technical skills. After being selected for Warrant Officer training, they must then complete the Warrant Officer Candidate School known as WOCS at the Warrant Officer Career College, Fort Novosel, Alabama.
Warrant Officer Candidate School is a 5-week course where we continue to assess each candidate on their leadership abilities and competencies. Warrant Officer Candidate School focuses on leader development, and candidates serve in various student leadership positions throughout the course and will receive feedback on their performance.
During their WOCS training, faculty and staff members assess each candidate's mental capacity, emotional strength, and physical stamina to determine if they can meet and maintain the stringent standards necessary for them to effectively serve with dynamic operating environments in which the Army performs its missions.
Being a warrant officer means being knowledgeable in your field. It means being a leader of moral and ethical character. It means being a part of something bigger than yourself. It means being a member of a team.
The United States Army Warrant Officer Candidate School provides qualified military personnel an opportunity to become Army Warrant Officers in continued service to the nation and our Army. To qualify, applicants must meet specific mental, moral, and physical requirements to serve as an Army Warrant Officer.
Upon completion of Warrant Officer Candidate School, graduates will have gained a new level of confidence in their leadership abilities. They have learned to adapt to austere environments through mental agility, problem-solving skills, and teamwork.
WOCS teaches candidates the fundamentals of leadership and how to be a leader of character. Candidates are taught to lead by personal example and to consistently serve as role models. When soldiers arrive to WOCS, they must be physically and mentally prepared. One of the key aspects of being here is learning how to be resilient. This school focuses on making leaders of character and intellect.
A warrant officer is a multifunctional professional and is prepared to provide guidance and technical expertise to ensure the mission is accomplished. Warrant Officer Candidate School lays the foundations for new warrant officers, preparing them for the operational environment. WOCS affords the candidate the ability to hone their skills by building on their knowledge and previous experiences through leadership development and assessments.
Warrant officers are technical and tactical experts in their duty assignments, possessing a high degree of specialization, knowledge, and skill. They command maritime vessels, special units, and tasked organizational operational elements. There are no plateaus during this course. Candidates are being assessed on their performance from the minute they start to the day they graduate.
Warrant Officer Candidate School provides candidates with a leadership foundation to build upon and assist their potential as company-grade officers.
Warrant Officer Candidate School will last 5 to 7 weeks depending on individual qualifications and status. Training focuses on leadership development, the history of warrant officers, and their role in the Army operational environment. Candidates will participate in field exercises while attending the candidate school, as well as daily physical readiness training to include marches up to a distance of 10 kilometers or 6.2 miles. Upon completion of the candidate school, graduates are appointed as an officer in the United States Army at the grade of Warrant Officer 1. A select few graduates will earn special recognition and honors. Graduates then progress to the Warrant Officer Basic course at various Army installations depending on their specialty and branch. Locations for duty after completion of the basic course can include Army assignments both in the United States and overseas.
At First Warrant Officer Company, we take great pride in training, educating, and equipping candidates to become warrant officers within all 3 components of the Army. Upon graduation from Warrant Officer Candidate School, candidates are expected to be the Army's premier land force technical experts and system integrators. These newly appointed warrant officers will be prepared to succeed as technical experts and trusted advisors.
All warrant officers have the opportunity to progress in rank and responsibilities through promotion and additional career paths. Warrant officers make up the technical foundation of the United States Army. They hold a great deal of responsibility that includes leading and training soldiers, organizing and advising missions, integrating, maintaining, and operating complex Army systems. They're the horsepower behind the organization, the leaders that commanders rely on to ensure mission success. Talk to your career counselor or an Army in-service recruiter about taking your skills to the next level. Highly specialized and highly committed, the Warrant Officer Candidate School of Fort Novosel, Alabama.
Good morning, Colonel McHugh, Colonel Burgett, Colonel Gorman, Colonel Islam, Colonel Ramtahal, Mr. Valentine, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Napoli, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Godwin, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Knaus. Distinguished guests, senior warrant officers, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of our Commandant, Colonel Kevin E. McHugh, welcome to the appointment and graduation ceremony for Warrant Officer Candidate Class 25-03 Pink Penguins. Following the remarks this morning, the company commander, Chief Warrant Officer 4 Dokasher J. Bennett, will administer the oath of office. Once the oath is complete, each member of the class is a warrant officer. The only remaining event is the pinning of the warrant officer rank. Family members and guests are invited to assist in this part of the ceremony. As your soldier's name is called, please feel free to come forward to conduct the pinning. At any time during the ceremony, you may come forward to take photographs. Please be mindful of other guests, do not block their view, and promptly return to your seats. Please stand for the entrance of the official party, the invocation, and the playing of the national anthem.
First off, congratulations. Will you please pray with me according to your faith? Let's pray. Almighty God, we gather in your presence to celebrate these warrant officer graduates. Bless them as they step into leadership, granting them strength, wisdom, and courage to face new challenges. Thank you for their dedication and for the support of those who stood by them. May they serve with honor, inspiring others and upholding the values of duty, respect, and selfless service. Protect them, Lord, as they walk confidently in their calling, mindful of their oath that they've sworn and of freedom they defend. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Hicks. Please be seated. It is indeed a privilege to be associated with this outstanding group of soldiers. Warrant Officer Candidate School is a challenging 5-week course where we test each candidate to ensure they meet the moral, mental, and physical requirements to become warrant officers. Regardless of the environment, character, competence, and commitment form the foundation of successful leaders. Honor, discipline, and a conviction to adhere to a higher standard are but of a few of the qualities society expects from every military officer. These graduates have demonstrated that they possess these qualities. This class has excelled in many endeavors while at the First Warrant Officer Company. The Penguins are graduating with a final class average of 93%. The Penguins also earned the following Guide-On Streamers: Outstanding Car Wash, and Outstanding Sign. Allow me to introduce the team responsible for training the Penguins. The Senior TAC Officer, Chief Warrant Officer 3C Fuentes. The Primary TAC Officer, Chief Warrant Officer 2 Basil. The TAC Team, Chief Warrant Officer 2 Junker, Chief Warrant Officer 2 Sanders, and Chief Warrant Officer 2 Serrano. The Company First Sergeant, Sergeant First Class Tua. The Senior Mentor, Chief Warrant Officer 3 Albert. And the Warrant Officer Candidate School Course Director, Chief Warrant Officer 3 Henry. Please join me in a round of applause for this outstanding team. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce today's guest speaker, Chief Warrant Officer 5, Edward F. Carman. Chief Warrant Officer 5 Carman began his military career by enlisting in the United States Army in 1985 as a Lance Missile Fire Direction Specialist. Following his active duty service, he joined the 80th Training Division, where he serves as an instructor at the Drill Sergeant School. In 1995, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Carman attended the Warrant Officer Candidate School and graduated with honors from the Initial Entry Rotary Wing Training Program. Throughout his career, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Carman has consistently demonstrated exceptional leadership at every level of command. His key assignments include UH-1 and UH-60 medevac pilot, Unit Training and Aviation Mission Survivability Officer for the West Virginia National Guard, State Pre-Flight School Program Instructor, and the Command Chief Warrant Officer of the 29th Combat Aviation Brigade of the Maryland Army National Guard. Currently, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Carman serves as the Senior Warrant Officer Advisor to the Deputy Commanding General here at Fort Novosel, Alabama. Chief Warrant Officer 5 Carman holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering from West Virginia Tech and a Master's of Science degree from the Institute of Textile Technology. With over 39 years of dedicated service, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Carman has earned numerous awards and decorations, having completed all levels of his professional military education. His full biography can be found in today's program. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Chief Warrant Officer 5, Edward F. Carman.
"39 years, that's a long time, isn't it?" So, what a beautiful day that we have, and good morning to our distinguished guests, friends, and family of this fine, outstanding class. Ms. Bennett, thank you for the warm introduction. Congratulations to Warrant Officer Class 2503. But I would like to extend the warmest of welcomes and express my thanks to the family and friends of this motivated class. Your love and support are what motivates us to serve this nation, and I would be remiss if I were not recognize your contributions to this class and the United States Army. Thank you for taking time to celebrate with us today. As mentioned earlier, I would also like to thank the First Warrant Officer Company TAC officers and NCOs who work tirelessly behind the scenes to administer training and mentorship to every class. Class 03. I'd like to take a minute to illustrate to your family some of the challenges you've faced over the last 5 weeks. I want to brag to you about you for a second. Over this short period of time, this class has traversed approximately 60 miles on foot through Fort Novosel, and at times marching with 50 pounds of equipment and navigating through forest and swamp to go get those land nav course points. And of course, always running at 05:30 in the morning. Despite the physical challenge placed upon this class, they managed to excel in the rigorous academics that sometimes lasted till after sunset. At times, the stress was high, but you soon-to-be warrant officers did not come here to prove your worthiness to this cohort. Class 03, you have demonstrated your potential to become warrant officer before you even got here. In this course, you've been given opportunities to lead soldiers in many situations, no matter the environment and no matter the stakes. You have successfully met or exceeded all expectations, and I thank you for volunteering to serve in such a demanding capacity. I strongly believe that every new warrant officer in this room is going to love being a warrant officer. I think it's the best rank in the Army. A person's capacity for service and their ability to lead is not dependent upon their rank. Many members of this graduating class have served as experienced and even senior non-commissioned officers. But as you know, things are going to change. In about 50 minutes from now, this graduating class is going to join the highly regarded warrant officer cohort. Then when you go on to complete your warrant officer basic course, most of the Army and the force will not see you as a junior W1. They will simply see you as a warrant officer. Some will call you Chief as soon as you get to your next unit. Because warrant officers make up less than 3% of the Army, most of your fellow soldiers will look at you and see not only an expert in your craft, but a leader with high standards, a soldier with a wealth of knowledge, and an officer that will grow into a wise advisor. You're going to be given a high degree of credibility by virtue of the rank you wear. So remember, as you consider the core competencies of a warrant officer, do not forget that the Army needs you to be a leader first. You've all memorized ADP 6-22. And as the depth of your knowledge is going to increase as a warrant officer, I want you to consider a few things. As the realm of your influence increases, maintain your dedication to doing what is right. Be masters of your craft. And use your influence and expertise to coach, teach, and mentor formations and leaders. Help us motivate and transform for the future. No longer are you just executing the boss's vision. You now have a seat at the table and a fresh pair of eyes and a voice to shape the Army's future. Maintain an appetite for professional growth, not only for you, but those you have stewardship over. Set the example by becoming lifelong learners who build and sustain learning organizations. Your expertise has an as-of date. Keep it current and grow and adapt to face and overcome the challenges ahead of you. Instability in the world is at a near all-time high. And our military end strength continues to be a struggle. The cohort needs you to be resourceful and creative to address the problems we will face. Use your knowledge and skills to anticipate, prevent, and solve the problems. No problem gets better by admiring it. So take action now. I met many soldiers who said they want to be warrant officers, but their paths led them on a different route. I respect that. This path to warrant officer is not an easy one. Those who extend immediate credibility to you will also have high expectations. One of the most powerful voices you'll ever hear comes from within your head. Remember that. Don't rely on others to hold you accountable. Check your own moral compass. Make sure it points true north. As you exercise your integrity, your inner voice will speak peace and confidence. Know your self-worth. Don't rely on others to cheer you on. It won't matter if everyone else sees your potential if you don't. Class 2503. We have a couple things in common. We all came through this course. I sat in that chair 29 years ago. Another thing we have in common is that we all have a rear view mirror in our car. And I know that you want to put Fort Novosel in that rear view mirror as quickly as possible. So I'll offer you another final thought. 1/3 of you will stay, go to flight school, become helicopter pilots. The other 2/3 will leave. But most of you will see each other somewhere down the road in either your formation or back here at Fort Novosel. And when you come in that gate, what is it that the security guard tells us? Welcome home. These friendships that you developed in WOCS will last a lifetime. One of my WOCS school close friends is a cab command chief, and another one works at Lucas Airfield. You will know these people, some of them, for your whole life. And in closing, let me leave you with this. As I've been in for all these years, and I look across these young, bright faces, I would trade places with you in a second and do this all over again. Pink Penguins, congratulations, strength and knowledge, this will defend.
On behalf of Class 25-03 and the 1st Warrant Officer Company, the company commander is presenting the guest speaker with a token of appreciation. The oath of office is the most significant event of this graduation ceremony. The candidates have worked very hard to reach this moment. The American people have put their faith and trust into these soon-to-be warrant officers. The candidates are swearing or affirming their true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States. I ask all service members in uniform, please stand for the oath of office. Please be seated. The Distinguished Honor Graduate Award is named after CW3 retired Doris Allen, a warrant officer who has set herself apart by making significant contributions to our nation and her community. Her biography can be found in today's program. The recipient of this award is Warrant Officer Shelby K. Barron, with a final course average of 99%. Warrant Officer Barron is receiving a Warrant Officer Career College Certificate of Achievement from the guest speaker, CW5 Carmen. He is also being recognized with a plaque by the company commander, CW4 Bennett. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. The following warrant officers are honor graduates: Warrant Officer Bader, Warrant Officer Drizello, Warrant Officer Leggett, and Warrant Officer Miller. Warrant Officer Bader, Warrant Officer Drizello, Warrant Officer Leggett, and Warrant Officer Miller are receiving a Certificate of Achievement from the Primary TAC Officer, CW2 Basil. The Company Commander, CW4 Bennett. The Senior Mentor, CW3 Albert. And the Course Director, CW3 Henry. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. The following warrant officers on the Commandant's list are Warrant Officer Baldwin, Warrant Officer Collins, Warrant Officer Lett, Warrant Officer Pearson, Warrant Officer Sanchez, Warrant Officer Sayo, and Warrant Officer Shimmeron. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. The following warrant officers also on the Commandant's list are Warrant Officer Stigler, Warrant Officer Tripp, Warrant Officer Varvel, and Warrant Officer Zerker. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. The Iron Warrant Award is given to the warrant officer who has the highest overall average on all performance evaluations during the course. The Iron Warrant Award is named after medically retired warrant officer Anthony Radatic, a warrant officer who has persevered in the face of adversity. His biography can be found in today's program. The recipient of this award is Warrant Officer Ernesto Carranza. Warrant Officer Carranza is receiving a Warrant Officer Career College Certificate of Achievement from the Primary TAC Officer, CW2 Basel. Please come forward and pin your Warrant Officer. The leadership awardee was identified by his peers. Through his exceptional leadership and unique attributes, he encouraged personal growth and professional development. The Leadership Award is named after CW4 retired William Roof, a warrant officer who was deeply inspirational and innovative. His biography can be found in today's program. The recipient of this award is Warrant Officer Ryan C. Hacker. Warrant Officer Hacker is receiving a Warrant Officer Career College Certificate of Achievement from the Company Commander, CW4 Bennett. He is also being recognized with a plaque by the guest speaker, CW5 Carmen. He is also on the Commandant's list. Please come forward and pin your Warrant Officer. Today is a special day for the United States Army, Warrant Officer Career College, and the cohort. Army Directive 2023-02 allows direct commission for qualified soldiers to the rank of Chief Warrant Officer 2. These soldiers possess the right knowledge, skills, and behaviors necessary for service as a warrant officer. Today, we proudly welcome Chief Warrant Officer 2 Tadisha P. Hamilton Floyd and Chief Warrant Officer 2 William S. Maddox. Chief Warrant Officer 2 Maddox is also on the Commandant's list. Please come forward and pin your Warrant Officer. Please join me in a round of applause for these outstanding warrant officers. The remainder of the class will receive their Warrant Officer 1 rank in alphabetical order. Please hold all applause. Warrant Officer Andrews, Warrant Officer Bartolotta, Warrant Officer Baumgardner, Warrant Officer Brin, Warrant Officer Brown, Warrant Officer Burns, and Warrant Officer Kayada. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Carrillo, Warrant Officer Carter, Warrant Officer Cartledge, Warrant Officer Chavez, Warrant Officer Clark, Warrant Officer Croy, and Warrant Officer Dearman. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Dover, Warrant Officer Duell, Warrant Officer Ecop, Warrant Officer Fetty, Warrant Officer Fields, Warrant Officer Flores, and Warrant Officer Freeman. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer French, Warrant Officer Fudge, Warrant Officer Geringer, Warrant Officer Hernandez, Warrant Officer Hickman, Warrant Officer Hodge, and Warrant Officer Hopkins. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Jackson, Warrant Officer Jones, Warrant Officer Caden, Warrant Officer Krog, Warrant Officer Lawson Justin, Warrant Officer Lawson Zachary, and Warrant Officer Lowe. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Mayava, Warrant Officer Mannix, Warrant Officer McDonald, Warrant Officer Miller, Warrant Officer Mills, Warrant Officer Maroney, and Warrant Officer Muna. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Murphy, Warrant Officer Norman, Warrant Officer Opipop, Warrant Officer Oplinger, Warrant Officer Ornelas, Warrant Officer Parker, and Warrant Officer Penwhite. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Perdue, Warrant Officer Pereira Delgado, Warrant Officer Perez, Warrant Officer Ramazzini, Warrant Officer Reichert, Warrant Officer Ritt, and Warrant Officer Robinson. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Ross, Warrant Officer Sampson, Warrant Officer Sanchez, Warrant Officer Salm, Warrant Officer Shemwell, Warrant Officer Slentz, and Warrant Officer Sona. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Soucier, Warrant Officer Smith, Warrant Officer Strickroth, Warrant Officer Thompson, Warrant Officer Vancura, Warrant Officer Wenger, and Warrant Officer Worden. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Warrant Officer Wright, and Warrant Officer Younger. Please come forward and pin your warrant officer. Please join me in a round of applause for these outstanding warrant officers. Class 25-03, on your feet. At this time, I ask that all soldiers, past and present, please stand and join us in reciting the Soldier's Creed and remain standing for the playing of the Army song. Penguins, before you are dismissed for the final time, remember the warrior ethos are deeply rooted in the Soldier's Creed, which states,
I am an American soldier. I am a warrior member of the team. I serve the people of the United States and live the Army values. I will always place the mission first. I will never accept defeat. I will never quit. I will never leave a fallen comrade. I am disciplined, physically and mentally tough, trained and proficient on warrior tasks and drills. I always maintain my arms, my equipment, and myself. I am an expert and I am a professional. I stand ready to deploy, engage, and destroy the enemies of the United States of America and the English Empire. I am a guardian of freedom and the American way of life. I am an American soldier. March along, sing our song with the army of the free. Count the brave, count the true, who have fought to victory. We're the army and proud of our name. We're the army and proudly proclaim. First to fight for the right and to build the nation's might. When the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won. When the army goes rolling along. When it's high, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the gates that are strong. For where we go, you will always know that the army goes rolling along.
The primary TAC officer, CW2 Basil, will dismiss the class to conclude today's ceremony.
You have indeed finished your evolution cohort. Congratulations. For the last time, you are dismissed.